certain to have his wish.
Kathy Harkin reporting there. Well, joining us now is Ziya Meral, a London-based Turkish analyst and author of the report Prospects for Turkey. Ziya, how far do you think that Turkey is increasingly becoming a champion of the Palestinian cause and willing to speak out more openly against Israeli policy?
There's definitely truth in saying that Turkey is becoming a lot more publicly critical of Israel, but I'm not really sure actually at any given moment the Turkish government or even the Turkish public are necessarily becoming the main champions for the issues around Palestine. All of the escalations of the problems between two countries have really dated to the clashes between the AKP government and the current Netanyahu government, and primarily coming out of the personal disillusionment of Prime Minister Tayyip Erdogan with the Israeli government in its efforts to make peace between.
Sticking with the Gaza flotilla and the 9 Turkish activists who were created a huge stir in the country, to what extent has that exacerbated tensions between Turkey and Israel?
This was the first time where Turkish public and the Turkish government had an actual grievance against Israel. Thus far, either in the Palestine issues or the overall Middle East issues, Turkish grievances have been projections onto Israel of their own conspiracy theories, that under every dirty rock you had the fingers of Mossad agents, or it was frustrations with the way the Palestine issue has been handled. But for the first time since May, the Turkish government and the Turkish public feels a justified sense of grievance against Israel. And since then, both the relationships at both levels have been in a de facto frozen Cold War.
There's been a great deal of international criticism, of course, of the blockade on the Palestinian people in Gaza. So has that enabled the ruling party, the AK party in Turkey, to become more outspoken because of this background?
It has. Definitely AKP has won a lot of votes just by being the first Turkish government that publicly challenged Israel and because of the Gaza campaigns. So in a sense, there's a serious calculation of votes for the AKP government. It has also increased the popularity of Turkey across the Arab world. Again, as I said, no previous Turkish government has actually challenged Israel this directly.
Okay, and briefly, has it actually resulted in a different policy in the way that Turkey deals with Israel? I mean, there are strong economic and political ties between the two countries. Is it just rhetoric, or is there a clear...
There is a genuine substance behind the deteriorating relationships between two countries. But the main breaking point was already unfolding before the flotilla crisis. It's just the flotilla crisis that made it final. So now the things we see in the popular culture, such as this movie or pieces in other media outlets, are only the expressions of an ongoing tension.
But the economic ties, for instance, the business links and so on, they still continue
in a limited way. But I think both governments are acutely aware that they need one another, that they cannot call off all of the relationships, and trade and defense trade remains to be an integral element of exchanges between the two governments, and both of them are acutely aware that they need one another in the long run.
Okay, Ziya Meral, thank you very much indeed for coming in to talk to us. A reminder now of our main news. The Irish Republic has insisted it will work with European